alert sounds will still pop up, but that's fine by me. Hey guys, and welcome back to the tier list. This is going to be an ongoing project throughout the season. Every 2 weeks, on patch week, I'm going to be updating this tier list. You can catch it on the streams on Sundays. Times will vary depending on scrim times, depending on when I get up, really. Today, it's not going to be too long of an update. As per usual, there hasn't been any big meta shifts, just a couple of picks and bans have changed priority. A couple of buffs, a couple of nerfs have come in as per usual. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to be starting our way up from the top, moving our way down, and moving characters where we need to. First drop, and the biggest drop, is going to be from Artio. Artio moving from S+, all the way down to A+. This burst meta does not favor Artio at all right now. She has to get in extremely close to do her CC, to have her control in the teamfights. Her burst isn't as strong as some other supports or some other solo laners right now, so she's really suffering in this meta. She can still bring that control, can still bring that aggression, and can still bring that early lane pressure better than most characters in this game. But to the same point, she just doesn't bring that mid-game and late-game teamfight presence, which is so strong and so vital to your picks in the solo lane, as well as your picks in support. Artio going to be moving down. The only reason that she doesn't move down any further to A or even A- is her flex pick ability. Still one of the few characters who could potentially be played in 3 separate roles: support, jungle, and solo lane. Very strong when needed in a picks and ban situation, so A+ is going to be the new position for Artio. Kakullan, Hebo, and Nemesis all going to be retaining their S+ status, and they're actually going to be joined by somebody this week. We're joined by Janus. The man's just unstoppable in the mid lane right now. Soryva getting buffed, Soul Gem getting buffed. You just can't compete with his mobility. He's super safe in the early game with his clear. Mega rotations around the map make him an unstoppable nightmare. And his damage output is nigh on... It's undodgeable at times in a team fight. If you have a world-class Janus player on your team benefits so much from it. Expect Janus to be a high priority in picks and bans throughout the SPL until the God gets nerfed or synergistic items like Chronos Pendant, like Soul Reaver, get nerfs to them. Athena, Bellona, Erlong, Shen, Geb, Hachiman, Osiris, Thoth, and Serket. Pretty much all of them are going to be staying up in this S category. What we are going to be changing around, though, is Darji is going to be moving up, and Serket's going to be moving down, just a straight swap for them. Simply put, the nerfs to Serket to her Deathbane... well, there's 2 parts to her Deathbane nerf. The cooldown increase from 10 seconds to 13 seconds, and the physical protection shred from 15% to 10%, does move her jungle viability down a lot. She is being forced more so into a tank position, so her flex pick ability comes down. Meanwhile, Darji... Gods around her are getting nerfed. Heartseeker got nerfed as well, while she's remained untouched. She's still one of the best, if not the best, jungle pick options out there, and I highly recommend, if you are a jungle pick, if you're a jungle player out there, to be picking and practicing Darji as much as possible. Very strong pick right now. Jump into fights, be able to cause massive disruptions to them, force out 3, maybe even 4 relics if you're lucky, and just create massive space around your powwow. Unbelievable control comes out from this character. Everybody else up in S- is going to be staying in S- for the time being. These are going to be your core characters. Going to be seeing a lot of these in picks and bans. More so bans than picks, I would say. Well, in A+. Let's have a quick look at A+. I think everybody in A+ who is currently there is going to be staying in A+. They're going to be joined by somebody else today. Or are they? Fafnir moving all the way up to S-. Got his control back. Got his control back. The hammer nerf at the beginning of the season has been partially reverted. Does still suffer from a lack of multi-area control, lack of multi-CC like a Geb Cataclysm or Sylvanas Wrath of Terror. But he has his control back from his hammer. He has sustain from his coerce. He's able to burn down objectives incredibly well. He's able to bait out a lot of abilities with his transformation. He's in a good spot right now. He's still outclassed by a few supports out there. You see Athena and Geb still above him, on par with Sylvanas on this tier list. Cucullin is still above him as well. There's still better picks than Fafnir, but he is really, really strong right now. I expect to see him a few times in picks and bans. You know who's happy with that? It's Kalas. Fenrir. Fenrir is an odd one. Hasn't received any buffs. Hasn't received any nerfs recently. However, a lot of people have been playing him in scrims. A lot of people have been playing him in ranked. And people are starting to figure out that Fenrir is a great pick right now. Fenrir moving all the way up to A+. Like Artio, can play 3 positions. Can play solo lane. You won't be seeing him in solo lane though, even though he can potentially play there. Can play jungle. Again, you probably won't be seeing him in jungle. He's still a good pick there, still a good counter to some of the good gods like Hebo and Nemesis. Can chase after them, as well as Thoth. Can really chase the Thoth down. Really delays his evade and punish if that brutalizes on him. Can also be played as support, and that is where most teams are starting to play. It's where most players are really starting to play him as well. It's to support Fenrir. Looking for the aggression in the duo lane, looking to try and get those early kills, get those early picks. It is risky. You can be put behind, at which point you do have an assassin in your support role, incredibly squishy, going into that mid game, can be punished quite easily, very single target oriented. But to the same tune, if you get that lead early on, if you're able to push your advantages early on, the Fenrir support does do well. We're seeing, you might be seeing a better Fenrir this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any Fenrir at all. But the way the meta is shifting right now, Fenrir is starting to become a more and more attractive pick. Nuar recently got a buff, as did Soulgem. I still think there are problems with Nuar. I still think that there are issues with Nuar. Namely, her teamfight is somewhat lacking. The main crux of her teamfight is, I'm going to ult, you're going to be fighting with 75% health, one of you is going to be fighting with 50% health. Best of luck. Well, we can just avoid that with Aegis. We can just pick a healer and nullify you. We can, kill you before you have a chance to get your ult off. And once her ult's down, her teamfight is less than... Well, it's less than needed in this current meta. You have gods like Janus, you have gods like Hebo, you have gods like Thoth, you have gods like Agni, who are able to output their damage in a much more consistent rate, able to burst specific targets as well. They're able to output their damage a lot more efficiently. They're able to output their damage a lot more... They're able to output it correctly. No, that's not the word, but they're able to output it in the way that they want to, rather than in the way that their minion AI wants to. They are going to be moving up to A. That's all she's going to move up to right now. She's in a very good spot. Can be picked, but does still have issues with her, in my opinion. And that's actually going to do it for the tier list this week. Everybody else in B and C still not going to be changed around too much. If anything, it would be Aphrodite to counter out some of the high tier picks here with the burst potential, like Hebo, like Poseidon. Good counter to those, but still not going to be moved up due to the prevalent anti-heal and the fact that she really doesn't bring too much to a team, but outside of healing as well as immunity to one target. Still, that's going to do it for us for the tier list. Thank you guys so much for joining for the tier list, and we'll see you in the next update in a couple of weeks.